That's where you'll still want the jacket for sure. We have Sussex down to 38, Poughkeepsie 39, but it's 53 in the city, 46 in Islip. But you can already feel perhaps a little bit of that warm feeling, like you know it's going to be a warm day ahead. But we're also seeing some of that moisture come back, and that's going to translate into some patchy dense fog I'm seeing develop across parts of our area, including in and around Connecticut. So watch there, but also for portions of Monmouth and Ocean County. So if your travels take you there this morning, just give it some time. Probably later this morning, we'll see that lift out of here. And more sunshine by 1 o'clock, 64 degrees, 4 p.m. temperature once again approaching 70 in a lot of places, and should be a nice quiet evening. Definitely feeling that humidity increase by then. So definitely not, once again, a November feel to the day. All right, let's get you that Friday feeling and hopefully a nice smooth ride in or out of work today.
I think we all got that Friday feeling.
We sure do. So far, take by in parts of Fairfield County into Connecticut. Also, eastern Long Island and Suffolk County areas are less than a half a mile visibility, and we're down to about 0 in Toms River. So just give yourself a little extra time in some of those spots, and we'll see that continue through the morning hours. Otherwise, pleasant. We've got 45 in Levittown, Lynbrook at 46 degrees, Elmhurst at 55, and we're in the 50s at Central Park. So as the day goes on, it's very similar to yesterday. We'll get some sun in there. Temperatures climbing near 70 degrees. A very mild evening through 10 o'clock, still in the low 60s. That's because we've got the clouds moving in and a lot more humidity. You'll notice that if you're going to be out and about later on tonight. All right, let's get you out the door right now, though. And what are you watching?
Yeah, you know, construction. We have
5 degrees, Caldwell at 42, City Island 51, and right now in Belrose at 47 degrees. Still chilly to the north and west, though. We have clear skies, no fog there in Clinton, Sussex, and Poughkeepsie, all into the upper 30s. But the fog is pretty dense, seeing visibilities go from about a quarter mile to half a mile in parts of Suffolk County, in and around Connecticut, Fairfield County, Putnam, and Westchester County, too, reporting low visibility. And right now, Toms River, less than an eighth of a mile. So definitely if you're in those zones, give yourself a little extra time out the door. Otherwise, very similar to yesterday. We've got the sun, the clouds, and plenty of warmth. By 4 p.m., 67 degrees. Another mild evening. By 10 o'clock, still in the low 60s. And you're going to feel that humidity really creep in and start to rise as we head into the weekend. All right, let's see if we have to slow down and pump the brakes anywhere. Emily, what's going on?
Yeah, you know, it's not too bad. So hopefully, I'm hoping
she's got you covered. Right now, no fog there, but I'll show you where we're seeing it. Definitely some chill, too, still from Clinton, Sussex, Poughkeepsie, where you've dipped into the 30s. We're at 47 in Merrick, 53 at Central Park. Middletown, you've dipped into the 30s as well, right about 37. Peekskill, Danbury, Mount Kisco, the low to mid 40s, and that's where I'm seeing some of that dense fog. It's starting to creep into the Hudson Valley, but all over Connecticut, eastern Long Island, and central and South Jersey. So that's the weather slowdown for you this morning. Otherwise, more of the same. We've got mild temperatures by 10 a.m. in the mid and upper 50s. Sun and clouds through the rest of the day, 67 by 4 p.m. And you'll definitely start feeling that humidity and still mild by dinner time in the low and mid 60s. All right, saw some of the brake lights at the GW. Emily,
yeah.
What else is going on?
Oh, it's all out there.
Oh,
yeah, we
no.
got a lot of traffic.
It is freezing that morning, and we see the runners stripping up the clothes as they get going. So it is interesting to see how the heat changes throughout the day.
You know what? I can tell you, it's not going to be freezing.
It's not going to be freezing.
No, it's actually going to be quite warm even at the start of the day. And you can see we're still near record territory here for Central Park, but really across our area from Newark to Bridgeport, Poughkeepsie, all within a few degrees. I've got another potentially record-setting warm day in that 10-day forecast. Wait to see some of these overnight temperatures as well. I'll show you that in the 10-day forecast. In the bank when it comes to spring and summer water supply. So we love seeing this, but you can tell exactly where all the cold air is when you look at the next 10-day in the snowfall forecast. Nowhere near the eastern half of the country. It's all across the west, and not just the highest elevations either. We're seeing it pretty sprinkled across most of those spots. And again, it goes with where we're seeing the warmest and the coolest weather right now. Of course, the eastern half of the country. As we go into mid-November, likely seeing above average temperatures. And boy, do we have above average temperatures. So we'll talk about that some more in just a bit. Let's get you started. We have, of course, no snow, no clouds. Beautiful view over Midtown, 53 degrees out the door right now. The clouds, maybe more like fog in some spots too, in that low clouds, but count on plenty of sun eventually as we get into the afternoon. Already pushing 60 degrees by the early lunch hour, headed up once again close to 70. Light winds. You're going to start to notice the humidity creeping up as well, and that combination of some clouds, some of that humidity really holding on to the warmth. So we're waking up tomorrow 60 degrees at Central Park. That would be above average for high temperatures this time of year. 60 in Merrick, 55 in Poughkeepsie and Sussex. But we're talking about, of course, Sunday morning, a lot of racers getting lined up. 64 degrees the low at Central Park. Incredible. 65 the low low in Newark on Sunday morning, 63 in Islip. So obviously looking at one of the warmer races on record likely here, 70 degrees by noontime, by the afternoon 73. Once again, very close to record highs. On top of that, the humidity, which is definitely spring and summer-like, where you have dew points in the low 60s, sticky to unpleasant for sure. But look at Monday, still sticky. What happens between Monday and Tuesday? A cold front, but also happening on Monday, perhaps another record warm. But it's going to be tough to deal with, especially for athletes on Sunday, because it's not just the heat, it's the humidity, and it's really going to be up there. When you're talking about dew point temperatures in the low 60s, that's an absolute measure of how much moisture is in the air. We are sticky, unpleasant, and it's sticking around, if you will, from tomorrow into Sunday and Monday, where we're also looking at record high potential. But look what happens on Tuesday. That dew point, that humidity gets wiped away. That's the cold front that'll give us a little bit of a reprieve, and it's just a reprieve because I've got more of the humidity coming our way. But that's certainly the story heading into the weekend. There's that front with that cooler air behind it. It will be one to watch here. This area of low pressure off the southeast coast has some tropical connections with it. Does all of that moisture get pulled up with that next frontal system? It looks like it, and could be a soaking rain for us by the end of the week. So that's kind of all the players on the map for us the next few days. Certainly today, relatively speaking, it's pretty quiet. 53 degrees at Central Park. That humidity is up a bit. The winds are light, so that's a formula with mainly clear skies to see some fog develop, and that's what we have across Monmouth and Ocean counties. Also Suffolk County, where Eastport down to half a mile visibility. Lots of fog through parts of Putnam and Westchester, Fairfield County as well. So if your travels take you into Connecticut, you've got it really across the state right now. Otherwise, we'll get that sun in there eventually. 61 at noontime, 66 by 5 p.m., 63 by 10 o'clock. So to say it's a mild night, yeah, an understatement. 60 waking up tomorrow morning in the city, but believe it or not, with that warmth and humidity and the cloud cover that we'll see by Sunday morning, even warmer. Starting off for marathon runners in the low 60s, 65 for the low Sunday morning in Newark. So that is the story the next few days.